What's up, friends? My name is Coachandrewbrower, coach and owner of Built Through Balance, and I want to speak today on something that seems to be plaguing a lot of people, and that is meal prep. That is, how to meal prep. Do you have time to meal prep? What is meal prep? Do you have the money to meal prep? These all seem to be issues that plague my clients and people that I talk to on a daily basis. I just spoke to somebody yesterday who told me that they did not have time to prep their meals ahead of time. And there's a couple solutions to this issue. One, and it's a bit cost prohibitive, but there is meal prep companies. There is a ton of them. There's a lot of local ones. The local ones seem to be the most popular because you can get the food fresh there and then just take it right home. You don't have to wait for it to be shipped to your house. It doesn't have to be frozen. Now, like I said, that one's a bit cost prohibitive. I have never personally used a meal prep company. I've had some meal prep company meals because I know people who have been sponsored by them and they would give me some of the meals. And honestly, they're okay. At least the ones that I had. I'm not going to name any specific names, but they were honestly kind of like glorified TV dinners. That is one option. And now, keep in mind, you also don't have to get these meal prepped meals for every single meal of your day or week. You can simply purchase, I don't know how all these companies work, but I know some of them allow you to purchase a few meals at a time. So you can take the meals that are pre-prepped for you on your busiest days, and you already have them there. You don't have to worry about waking up early. You don't have to worry about doing anything ahead of time. It's all preset for you. It's great. It's fantastic. Another option, my personal favorite, buy real food and prep it the night before. And to me, it's basic. I've been doing it for years. I've meal prepped and been on a specific diet since I did a bodybuilding show about 3 years ago. But even prior to that, I was still prepping meals ahead of time, taking them with me. They weren't the healthiest things, but they saved me money. When I was on the road for wrestling, we would drive 12 hours one way. I couldn't afford to stop at every single gas station and buy protein bars, protein drinks. I couldn't afford to be eating the healthy meals at McDonald's or whatever the healthiest variation of a meal that McDonald's or another fast food place has. Prepping your meals ahead of time is super duper easy. Trust me, I've been doing it for years. All you need to do, go to your local grocery store, pick up a pack of chicken and a big bag of rice. I buy a giant 20-pound bag of jasmine rice. That bag lasts me a whole month, if not more, for $20. The pack of chicken, it can range depending on where you go. Personally, I go to Walmart, I get it for $12. It's so cheap. It really is. And when you break it down in the cost per meal, and I don't know the whole breakdown of it off the top of my head, but trust me, if you think that eating the right and the healthy and the real foods is expensive, it is not. It is one of the cheapest and easiest and most simple things that you can do. Now, we have to actually prep the food. Personally, I have a rice cooker. I put 2 cups of rice into that rice cooker, 4 cups of water, put a little bit of seasoning on it. I have rice. I have multiple days worth of rice ready in 20 minutes. It's so easy. For the chicken, if it is already thawed, I will put it in the oven, 12 minutes on each side. Flip it. Ideally, you don't want to cook it when it's frozen because then you can run into issues with the center being raw. But if you buy the chicken, cook it the same day, it's not going to be frozen. Typically, it's not going to be frozen. They might have just pulled it out of the freezer themselves. But typically, it won't be frozen. You can do it 12 minutes on each side. Now let's break that down. 20 minutes for the rice, 24 minutes for your chicken. Those can cook at the same time. Now you've got hot food ready to go. You might be saying, what about vegetables? Okay, you can buy a bag of spinach. You can buy a bag of bell peppers. Chop them up real quick. You don't need to cook every single ingredient that goes into your food. Then on top of that, you buy a little bit of butter. Pack of butter is $4. All this stuff is not cost prohibitive in any way, shape, or form. And it is the easiest, in my opinion, it's the easiest way to meal prep. You just buy the food at the grocery store, cook it the day before, and even if you have to, prep it the night before. But what about the dishes? Come on, they're dishes. If you do it properly, you shouldn't have that many dishes. You can bust out a set of dishes in 5 minutes. If you have a dishwasher, use it. It's mind-boggling to me, and I mean this in the nicest way possible. It's mind-boggling to me when people tell me that they don't have the funds, or they don't have the time, or they don't know what they're doing. You don't need a coach. You don't need a huge budget. If you are dedicated to eating healthier, the cheapest things that you can buy are real foods at the grocery store. They're not the McDonald's drive-thru. They're not. Going out to eat, fast food, whatever options you choose, the unhealthy options at the grocery store, none of those will ever be more cost effective than a bag of rice and chicken. You can throw in a little bit of veggies. And I mean, if your main concern is not getting in your nutrients, the food from McDonald's and all the fast food and all the other junk food is not giving you your nutrients either. So if you're really concerned about that, you can buy a daily vitamin. Your final option, and now this one is a little bit higher on the cost end than buying real food, but still cheaper than the meal prepped stuff. That would be to buy the prepped food at the grocery store. So what do I mean by that? Most grocery stores, I know Walmart here does it, you can get a pound of chicken, a pound of pre-cooked rotisserie chicken in a container, and it costs you $4. You can buy tuna fish. That's usually less than $1 per can. You can buy bagged rice. You can buy a bag of potatoes. Now, let me tell you, you can eat, if Stone Cold Steve Austin could eat potatoes raw, don't you want to be like Stone Cold Steve Austin eating potatoes raw? I've had a potato raw. It's not great, but it ain't that bad. Stone Cold Steve Austin did it. You can do it too. All the time when I was on the road for wrestling, one of the biggest things, this was the earliest thing I did, was I would buy a rotisserie chicken. Because you could buy a rotisserie chicken, 3-pound rotisserie chicken from Costco for $4. Now, I didn't always have access to the Costco, so you could go to whatever grocery store is available, like a Walmart. At most, they're gonna cost you $7, maybe $8 for a rotisserie chicken. And honestly, a rotisserie chicken is a meal for the entire day, depending on how big you are. For me, that was a pretty hefty meal, and it would last me quite a while. So a rotisserie chicken was a very good investment in terms of the quality of food that I was getting and the quantity of food that I was getting, and it was easily transportable. It was already hot, it was already cooked. I didn't have to worry about sinking any time into it. I could bring it on the road, I could eat it while I was in the passenger seat, didn't matter. There's also some funny stories as to why we picked rotisserie chicken, because it is honestly pretty anabolic, and we saw some jacked dudes doing it at some of our very first wrestling shows, just picking at rotisserie chickens and then going out and having fantastic matches. So that's a bit of a backstory behind that. But it ended up working very well in our favor. So there is plenty of options that you can do to be able to eat well, stay busy, and still hit your macros. There is absolutely no excuse, in my opinion, to not be able to eat well, hit your macros, do everything you need to do. This has been Andrew Brower with Built Through Balance. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and follow for more. Thank you so much.